Do you know there is another way to make wool felting? It is called wet felting. You only need a couple of simple tools. Without a needle, you also can make wool felt. Hi everyone, I'm Pong Pong. Today I'm going to demonstrate to you how to make an abstract painting with wool fiber. Just by using different wool colors and various shapes, you can also show your creativity on it. First, the tool we will need: soap, sprinkler, bubble wrap, towel, and the most important, wool fiber. Let me explain to you about wool that we use this time. The wool fiber for wet felting and needle felting is not the same. The one used for wet felting, its staple length is much longer. Here you can see one is much shorter, that is for needle felting work. So remember, when you buy the wool, you should choose the one for wet felting use. The size of the demonstrated template is 60 x 40 cm. Wool wet is 40 grams for fundamental use and extra various wool colors. Before we start to make it, here are two key points we need to know. The first point is how to put out wool. When you take out the wool ribbon, then hold it with your left hand and take all your right hand's fingers up against the palm to hold the fiber, gently with low pressure to put it out. If you use this way to put out, then you can get a nice even amount of wool layer every single time. One important thing you need to know is each wool fiber has a different staple length. For example, the one I used today, let's measure the length now. Mine is around 15 cm, and what does that mean? 15 cm is the staple length. From the tip of the fiber, this is the place my left hand should be. If the distance is less than 15 cm, you will not put it out easily. Once you have this kind of issue, then you can go check is that your left hand is too close to the tip. Let me explain to you more clearly in pencil. Imagine this is wool fiber. If my hand is so close to the tip, and my right hand cannot put it out easily, right? But once my left hand holds back a little bit, I can easily put it out now. So it is the same when you are doing with wool fiber. Once you cannot put it out easily, then go and check, is that your left hand too close to the tip? The second key point is the laying down method. Wool fibers have lots of micro scales on the surface. The felting process is helping these scales to hook each fiber. Once they are tangled together, and we give more pressure, it will be smaller and smaller. If you want to have a solid work like this, we must lay wool down in different directions, horizontal and vertical, just like weaving clothes. So later on we are making wet felting, remember you need to change the direction in each layer. If your first layer is horizontal, then the second layer must be vertical, etc. Here is one more thing we need to know. When we lay down the wool on the bubble wrap, each wool fiber must close to each. Make sure they are all next to each other without any gaps. I know you can't wait to start it now, right? Okay, let's get started. First, place towel on your table. Then put the bubble wrap on top of it. And the bubbles of our bubble wrap are facing up. Once this preparation is done, then we can take the wool and start to let it down. Using the method we taught before, and lay down on our bubble wrap. The area is just the size we were sketching. Hold the wool woven with your left hand and use your right hand's fingers up against to your palm and hold the fiber. Lay this wool down on the template. And do you remember the wool must close to each fiber? There is no gap among each. Around the edge, we can reach out 1 centimeter to the template. Now I'm doing the first layer in the horizontal direction. Okay, the first row is done. Then we move on to the second row. It is the same method to pull it out, but the second row must overlap 1/3 of the first row. Checking if there are any gaps when you are laying it down. As a beginner, I know this is not that easy in the beginning. If you are not familiar with this, take it slowly and practice more and more times. Trust me, you are going to do well after. Keep using the weight to finish our first layer. Okay, now the first layer is done. We are going to make the second layer. Do you remember we were saying we need to crisscross each layer? So our first layer is the horizontal direction. And now we are going to switch to the vertical direction. Place in the first row like the previous process. And the second row must overlap 1/3 of the first row. And there is no gaps among each. Keep doing this until you finish the second layer. Now we finish our second layer, then we need to do with the third layer. Remember, our first layer is horizontal, so our third layer is doing the same as the first layer. Using the same method to do and working until we use all the 40 grams of wool. I hope you can make each layer nice and even. Then you can get a beautiful thickness work. So take it slowly if you can't put well yet. Before we start to paint, we need to learn how to use wool to paint. Just like we learn how to draw, we all start by making a line. You can see on the screen there are different thickness lines and different values. Also, 3 circles and various shapes. And how can we make it? First of all, take your wool out and use your thumb and index finger to pick a small amount of wool. Check how much amount will affect its thickness. If you want a shorter length, then you can use scissors to cut it. If you pour more amount out, then you will get more and it looks like calligraphy style. Next, I will demonstrate to you how to make circles in 3 different ways. In the first method, you take a pinch of wool and entwine it on your index and middle finger. Make it into a circle. In this method, you will create a hollow round. If you want to make a solid circle, you can also use the same way but without entwining on your fingers. Directly rolling them and press down, you will also get a circle. But the thickness is not even, especially in the center. So here is the third method. We must tear the wool many times and overlap on it. In this method, we can guarantee our circles are more even because we overlap the wool from different directions. Okay, these are the third method to create circles. If you want to make triangles or squares, you can also use the same method, or you can buy pre-felt wool to use scissors to cut different shapes. How to make different strokes and shapes, then you can unlock your creativity and play. Let's lay down the wool colors as you want and create any kind of shapes. When you think it's ready, then we can move on to the next step, felting. Fill up your sprinkler first. If you don't have this kind of bottle, it's totally fine. You can replace it with the mineral water bottle and make some holes on the cap. Now we sprinkle the soap water on our work. Remember, being gentle in the beginning. If you are afraid to ruin the work with too much water pressure, then you can use the other hand to support. We keep sprinkling until it is wet. The amount of soap water is just enough to saturate our wool without making a puddle. Now we cover with another piece of bubble wrap on top. Use our hands to press it down gently. Make sure all the fibers are soaking soapy water. If you found out some of them are still too dry, Then you can sprinkle more soapy water on them. When it is all wet, we take off the bubble wrap and fold back the edge gently. No need to make it beautiful at this moment. We can trim it later on. Once the edges are done, then we cover them with bubble wrap again. Now we are going to roll it. If you don't have a rolling pin, it doesn't matter. You can also roll them directly. After rolling up, we turn the work into parallel to the body. And now we are going to start rolling the wool. Put your palms on it and screw it till your forearms. Keep doing this backward and forward. For 20 times, then we open it again. Now, open the bubble wrap. Must be gentle in this stage because it's fragile now. And make sure there is no displacement and keep shapes. Then we covered it again, but rolled it on the other side. It's the same. Turn the work into parallel to your body and gently give it back and forth vibrating movement. In a couple of times, then we can remove the bubble wrap and keep directly touch. We will keep doing this until the surface is felted. After several times rolling, now we open the work and let's check if the surface is felted or not. How can we know if the surface is felted or not? You can use your thumb and index finger to pinch the wool. If you can see the wool comes up, then it means it's not felted yet. If not, you can take the whole piece up, then it means it's felted. If the surface is felted, should I keep felting? It depends on how you will do with this work. If you are going to hang it on the wall like a painting, then 25% shrinkage is okay. But if you want to use them as placemates, then I would recommend you to make over 40% shrinkage. Today's template is 60 times 40 cm, and I will make it up to 40%. So my final size will be around 33 times 23 cm. Now let's work more and make it smaller. Once you get the size as you want, and we can move on to the next step. If you are not satisfied with the edge, then you can use scissors to cut the edge. But when you cut it off and you will see the edge is furry, you can use soap to secure the edge and rub it with your hands. Also, if you want to make smaller coaster, you are welcome to cut them into small pieces now. Once the edge is felted as well, then we can move on to the next step. Now take your work to the sink and rinse it until there is no more soapy water. And then this is done as well. It's simple and easy, right? In this method, you can make any kind of flat felted work, like placemats and coaster. Without needles, it's a good way to play with children as well. Take your wool out and let's unlock your creativity.